All right, welcome back to period 1 for our finishing up of 3.4 composition of functions. When we last left off here, we were talking about function operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, as well as composition of functions, putting one function inside another function. So, Mr. Vendor? Absolutely. Thanks. Go back to here, already knows, right? Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to move into evaluating these composite functions. So I'm going to show you how to do it using graphs, so graphs of the functions, as well as algebraically. It's easier to do? Okay. I should have an extra next to my water bottle. I had to bite my tongue there.
What's on your tongue?
It's just an expression.
Oh, no.
All right. So let's get started. F of G of 1. F of G of 1. What am I going to evaluate first? F of G of 1. G of 1. Very good. So you have two functions here. They're both what type of functions? They're parabolas, but what type of function makes that? Quadratic. All right, put your answers together. There we go. Quadratic functions make parabolas. One parabola opens up, happy, and one opens down, sad, sad parabolas. Okay, those parabola tears, right? If you watch This Is Us, a lot of those parabola tears, right? No one watches This Is Us? Okay, never mind. Okay, so this one says g of x. So I'm going to start here. So on the x-axis, I'm going to 1. And where is the function? Let's round up. It's 3. Somebody last class was like, no, it's not. Like, okay, you're right. But let's just make it 3. Make it easy for everyone. Okay? Now that's just g of 1. So if I want to find f of g of 1, what am I going to replace g of 1 with? 3. Very good. So now the most important step is to find f of 3. Spoiler alert, much? So basically we're saying g of 1 became 3, so now I'm doing f of 3. So you go to the f of x function, this parabola here, x of 3, where's the function? It's at 6. So the answer of f of g of 1 is equal to 6. Questions?
What is f of 3?
F of 3 is 6. So I know it actually really hits like 2.7, but I made it easy for us. Made 3.
Why does?
Okay, do you see this right here? Do you see that?
Yes.
All right, replace that with 3.
Okay.
So now I'm doing f of 3. So like the first step is to focus on the inside. Get that number, then plug it into the outside function.
Wait. So the 3, that's your x.
That becomes my x. Even though it was my y,
Yeah.
here it becomes my x when I finish plugging it into the last one.
You looked at here.
The last one, so 3, 6. Yeah.
But instead of saying 1, 6, 2, and then from
You want to do another one? Let's do another one. Is that what your brain wants to do?
yeah,
Right? Let's do another one. What if I do g of f of 1? G of f of 1. So now I'm going where first? Now I'm going to f of 1 first. Let's do that first. My goodness, right? It's on fire over here. If I go to f of 1, where is that function? It's at 2. So I write 2. So now what my brain does, Pablo, is I replace f of 1. That whole thing gets replaced with 2. So now I care about finding g of 2. So I move over to this g of x function. When x is 2, where is the function? It's actually at 0.
Oh, yeah,
So g of f of 1 is 0. Don't worry, you're going to practice. All right? You're going to practice. What's wrong, Lily?
G of no f of x f g of 1 equals 6. What? How did you get that?
Oh, it's because like, are you confused? Because like, when you plug in one thing, like.
I know how to plug one. I know how to plug them in. I just don't know how you get it.
How I got 6?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen. Shh. It really comes down to think of it as 2 steps. The first step is to ignore the first function. So just imagine it said g of 1. You go to the g of x function, you plug in 1, and your function is at 3. So g of 1 is 3. But it didn't just say g of 1. It said f of g of 1. All right, I think it's what helps us to think about the right emphasis, right? F of g of 1, which is 3. So now it's f of 3. So you go to 3 on the f of x function, and where is that function? It's at 6. So that's why the whole thing f of g of 1 is 6. Whatever you get for the last step, though, which is really your first function, because you work from the inside out.
Okay, so whatever you get there is the answer. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I already said yes. I went. You're very welcome. Can we move to algebra? Let's move to doing it algebraically. Thanks, Natalie, for being open to this. All right. Sorry, Shana. It says f of h of 1. So the first thing I'm going to do is h of 1. Are you okay? So just listen to my emphasis here. F of h of 1. So let's do h of 1 first. And you have 3 times 1 plus 2. Well, it says 1, right?
Oh, I didn't see that.
You're good. Which is 5. Now, listen again. Okay, listen again. F of h of 1. But h of 1, Giuseppe, your brain says it's 5. So now it's f of 5. So now you're going to do a second step where you're doing f of 5, which is 5 squared minus 5, which is 20. So the answer is going to be f of h of 1 equals 20. So it's weird. I think what's happening in some students' brains that trips us up is you think, okay, the first step helps me get to the second step. But then the second step actually gives you the answer. I think what students have trouble with is they want each step to keep going to give you, like, okay, when do I get the answer? How do I know when it's done? And in this case, because we're just doing a composition, just one function inside another, there's only 2 steps. But could I do f of h of f of 4?
Yeah.
Yes, right? That's why I said go watch that movie Inception. All right, dreams within dreams within dreams within dreams. This is the same idea. Leo.
Yes.
Fair enough, right? No one's gonna argue that. But did you see Titanic in the theaters like I did? Maybe not. I think it was 97. Gravel and tears. So old. So you didn't get to see him. Boy, spoilers, and everyone's seen it. I guess I shouldn't ruin it. I mean, it's 97, right? You should. If you're gonna see it, you would have seen it by now.
No, we didn't get to see Rose. Be selfish and not move to the side.
Yeah, there's plenty of room. All right.